I would offer two recommendations. To the person who has literally no established personal credit, that would be the first place to start. So there are plenty of people who don't necessarily have bad personal credit, but they just don't have a well established personal credit. And one of the ways to kind of quickly build that is to do what's called a secured loan. Most people are familiar with secured credit cards, which are also phenomenal and can really help grow your credit profile and your credit score. But you can utilize a secured loan where, in essence, you get your money back pretty quickly. So let's say you have Navy Federal is the bank that a lot of people like to utilize for this specific approach. Let's say you have $1,000. The more money you have, the better. But you can deposit this money into your savings account, request a secured loan. The money will literally move from your savings account into your checking account. Now it has been loaned to you from yourself. You can take that money in your checking account and pay the balance on the loan. I recommend people do about 90% of it. So if you've spent this $1,000, pay $900 on the balance of the loan. And the money then goes back to the savings account. So the money is just moving around in accounts that you own. There's about a 2 to 5% initiation fee. So you will pay a little something, but you're going to get a great value. So once you do this, you have communicated to a bank that you have paid an installment loan at 90%. You will still have the remaining 10%, and you can pay that down over the course of the remaining lifetime of the loan, whatever you structured in the beginning. 18 months, 24 months, they have various packages. But that really communicates to other banks your credit worthiness. So now, 3 months later, you have managed your personal credit really well on a loan that they will be able to respect much more than you maybe having a cell phone in your name, or maybe the lights in your building is in your name. You want to utilize the types of products and packages that banks respect the most. So the same with a secured credit card. I recommend doing both of those things, honestly, kind of simultaneously, but people don't respect the real value of a secured loan because those are two different types of credit utilization: installment credit utilization and revolving credit utilization. Both are really, really powerful and really impact your credit score and your credit report. Do them both at the same time. And now you're going to be much more eligible for another bank to consider you for some funding. Does that make sense? Okay. If I'm not mistaken, Navy Federal's threshold is $250, which is not a ton. I mean, no disrespect, that's not in no amount of money, but it's not a ton of money, especially because you're going to get most of it back, right? You're going to spend some money on the initiation. But if this entire process cost you $275, you've spent $25 to really boost your credit score, right? So that's how I like for people to look at, okay, it cost you this much money to gain this much access. It's going to be worth it down the road. Yeah. So I recommend that people are, I'm hyper vigilant. I'm looking at my credit score and my credit reports all the time. There's great apps out these days. I don't heavily recommend Credit Karma. It's, you got to remember, like, they are paid by other vendors. So it may not be the most current information. Experian and TransUnion both have their own applications that you can utilize all the time. Equifax is the least utilized bureau, so it's important to still know that information, but it's the least likely to impact what you're trying to do. So I would recommend just downloading both the TransUnion and Experian apps. Keep up with your information. I think it's like $25 per, and you can update them constantly. So you can get new reports, you can get newer scores. It